What's up, you guys? Not quite sure if you can be waiting on Quiz. He's strolling on in. All right. I'm going to do what I normally do and then get back to y'all.
Yeah, yeah,
Hello. Can you hear me?
yeah.
Good. Hi.
Hey, what's up?
Welcome to Marital Mondays.
Yeah, what's going on, y'all? I'm Quiz the God.
Got us a set. And we
Yeah,
busting through Monday in this week like it's nobody's business.
like it ain't nobody business. Nah, yeah, like the
Right?
scrappers say.
Okay. I'm going to do what I do. If you want to, you can warm them up, get them all buttered up while I go ahead and make everything public.
Oh, okay. Well, look, seen a seen a little Facebook or Instagram post earlier, um, talking about
Wait,
not earlier. Was it yesterday? It was yesterday, not the earlier. It was yesterday. What?
before y'all do anything, y'all make sure y'all hit that follow button if like this y'all first time running up on these little lives that we do them on Mondays. And if you don't see, if you're not if you're not following us, the video won't pop up and show you that this is what's happening. You know, it's like Facebook have this special way of doing things, and in order for you to catch up with somebody, you have to follow them. So y'all hit that follow button because next move is going to be on another page. We created another page for dynamic talk. So we're going to be moving away slowly but for surely. All right. So we're just building an audience and then rerouting them. So with that said,
Yeah, building that audience, rerouting it, all that jazz is happening. So we seen I seen a post, and a guy was on there. He was like, "Man, you know, men don't really like women, and some other stuff. I'm gonna play it for you right now, y'all. I'll play it for you right quick if I can go ahead and press the share, share screen, share, boom. Let's see, here we go. Here we go. Can you see that there? See, yep, there you go. So I'm going to turn the audio on.
Around along with men. They see men as their equals. They do not view you as it. The only reason they're with you is because they're not sexually attracted to the men. If it wasn't for sex or power, they wouldn't be with you. I need y'all to watch out for these men. Like, actually, like, inquire about whether this man actually like women. Not if you're heterosexual. My question to you is, do you actually like women?
Let him play it one more time. One more time. Play it one more time.
So many men that don't like women, but they're sexually unattracted to men, and they have no choice but to deal with you. And they act like it, don't they? Like, these men don't like women for real. They don't bond with women. They don't emotionally connect with women. They prefer to be around men. They respect men. They get along with men. They see men as their equals. They do not view you as it. The only reason they're with you is because they're not sexually attracted to the men. If it wasn't for sex or power, they wouldn't be with you. I need y'all to watch out for these men. Like, actually, like, inquire about whether this man actually like women. Not if you're heterosexual. My question to you is, do you actually like women?
now there's another one that I sent to
So many
you as
men
well in
don't like
Instagram.
women, but they're sexually unattracted to men. And
Go ahead. Say it again.
Are you able to retrieve the one that I sent to you? that
Yeah.
that was a little uh um the other one that I sent to you, it was in regards to how men want women to be more step up mode, and be on that equal part. I sent it to you just recently. You want to throw that one in there as well? So I want to talk about that too, because there's a whole dynamic shift going on. And
Okay.
should I send it to you again?
Yeah, send it to me again.
Let me go ahead and do
Matter of
that.
fact, you can just go. Can you just share it or no?
Don't put me through
I
all
know,
that work.
just send it to me. Send it to me, sweetie.
You're a techie
Send it to me.
guy. You're a
Send it to me,
techie.
Queen. Go ahead and send it to me.
Thank you. I have enough on my plate. Look how you
Okay,
just
got
popped that up real quick. I can't do that. I'm over here struggling. All right, hold on. All right, let me see. All right, I'm sending it to you now. This one was a little more this. I don't want to say disturbing, but it was kind of like. Here it is. Okay, I'm gonna reply. All right.
All right.
All right. Here we go. All right. Yo. I don't know what's going on, but um the men are having like this shift of energy, and I'm so grateful that we have Quiz on the line because he's just so helpful and help us see things from a different point of view and makes some things easier. That's why we're trying to build this audience so we can understand a little bit more, because sometimes men like to close things down when it comes to women. I don't know why men feel like they don't have to talk to the woman about stuff that's really going on and how they truly feel, and they go to their buddies and talk, and at the end of the day it ain't helpful to go to your buddy when the issue is with your lover. You know what I'm saying? So the gratitude is definitely there when you allow us to kind of like get in the mindset of a man, because you are a man. And I have a man over here that keep asking me about marshmallows.
So what now?
This
Yeah, me
little
and
guy
asking about.
here, he keep barging through my
I
door.
can't see the screen. I can't see the screen. You talking about with your son? Which one? Which one it is?
The little one. And he just keep barging through my door. Dude, can you go? I told you, if you ask me about marshmallows again, you're not going to get one. Or you want to get up off my set.
Get that boy some marshmallow.
Not right now.
Oh, the man wants some marshmallows.
I can't even put an evil face. My evil face don't work.
It
but
sucks.
but what I'm saying is that it's very helpful to have a woman. This is why we're doing our dynamic talk, because we have the female trying to understand the male's perspective. And then the male is trying to understand a female perspective. But right now, I think we went so far out there without the communication, the lack of communication. And now the resentment is so hard to the point where women know they can't talk to a man because men have this wall, and men feel like they don't have to talk to a woman because you're only here to do what I need you to do. Right. And now we're in a space where it's like, oh, I can't stand her. I can't deal with her. And she's like, I don't want to deal with you either. So this whole thing is what we're doing, just trying to figure out what's going on. So that's why I want to say I appreciate you, and I appreciate guys like you that's letting us in on this so we can understand and hopefully get the bigger picture. Right.
No doubt, no doubt. I take pride in it. I'm glad, and it's my pleasure. So this the video you sent. I'm going and play it.
Me, baby, you busted and disgusted. You tangled and twisted. You got to get your motherfucking life in order, because your life is not in order. So then when she spent that motherfucking 150, and I let her think this is what she's doing. We got to the car, nigga gave her 400. Baby, take that. Appreciate you fucking right, because I just had to see where you was at. I can't be out here. You fucking with a nigga like me. What if something happened to me? You can't even have my back because you ain't got $150 for a motherfucking meal. I know goddamn well you ain't sending me $30 on commissary. So I can't be out here fucking with you. I'm out here in these streets for real, baby. I'm trying. I like it, but I gotta figure out if you a piece of pussy or you a smash and dash. You ejaculating evacuate. You feel me? And that's what I was figuring out. And when she took that motherfucking tab like it was nothing, if you can't spend $150 on a motherfucking meal, then you don't even deserve to be fucking with a nigga like me, baby. You busted and disgusted. You tangled and twisted. You got to get your motherfucking life in order, because your life is not in order. So then when she spent that motherfucking 150, and I let her think this is what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
We got to the car, nigga gave her 400, baby.
So his thing is, look, you can't be around here with me and you busted it. I don't want to be around no busted girl. She can't add. She just taking. That's what I was telling my cousin the night he got married. What's up, Brad? What's going on? Logged in,
What's
Brad.
good,
See,
Brad?
logged in. Always glad to have you around, Brad. And basically, you know, he is Gilly. That's Gilly. I don't know if you know of Gilly. Gilly used to do a lot of work with Cash Money. He was in that group where they was at the bar now. Yeah, that's us. Yeah, that's us. He was part of that group. You know, he do various things from Philly, but he has a podcast, him and his cousin, and they talk about whatever. But what he's talking about, which is something I always, what I tell the ladies is, be adding to the pot. Don't just be taking. Be adding. And then if you ever at a point and where it's like, you know, it looked like he just doing everything, then you ain't doing enough. You got to do something. Now, for most part, women always are doing a lot, and they're always doing a lot. But also too, when you always doing a lot, you got to be sure that it's something that is perceived as valuable, because you could be doing stuff and it not be valuable. So you want to be sure you add value to where he wants value added.
Same thing with a woman. Same thing with a man. Same difference. You know, you have to make sure that you're equally yoked and understanding. And this is one of the things that I wanted to, you know, mention in regards to what he was saying. The whole thing is that, okay, there's like a game that's being played from his point, and the meme that's going out right now is sending this signal that this is how other men should be thinking if they haven't thought this way yet. Right? Okay, fine. Think what you want to think how you want to think, is okay. But is it fair to let a woman know what it is that you want from her versus tricking her? Because at the beginning of the day, a woman is needed for as such from a man, whatever that may be, right? And from her perspective, what can I do for a man besides just add what I have to offer from a feminine perspective, right? So when you have this man that's coming with this mindset of, if you come out, I'm going to take you. I want to see if you take the tab, and if you take the tab, then I'll give the money back to you. But it's like, she doesn't know that, right?
She ain't supposed to know that. He testing their character,
right? But you know, you can have women that's just classical, right?
I mean, you mean traditional?
Yeah, same difference,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And 9 times, and then you have these untraditional women that's like, I split the bill with you, right? Because traditionally, it's normally the man typically asks the woman out.
Let me say this, if I can. We in 2022, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what has been going on over these years. Not just with men and women, just with everything moving forward. When something is wrong, when something isn't right, or it doesn't make sense to do anymore, we just don't do it. something just ethically just doesn't make sense. It doesn't matter if it's tradition. When we say tradition, I mean we carry on something that has been passed down, and eventually all those things expire too. And so what you'll have in these days is you'll have some rules that might ethically not make sense. Like, for instance, remember when we all used to buy bootleg CDs with everybody's song on them, right? And like people use stuff like LimeWire and BearShare and Napster. They would download all this stuff for free and then put it on the CD and then hand it out or whatever, or sell it for $2, $3, $4, $5. It seems like something cool to do. Like, man, it's just music, but it's just not music. This is somebody's means of feeding their kids that we was stealing and putting on CDs and selling for $2, $3. Something we didn't even create, something that somebody put thousands of dollars into, hundreds or thousands of dollars into, not to mention maybe tens of thousands of dollars in advertisement. And here we done stole this and we done put it on the CD and we done sold it for $3, $4. So it got to a point where it was affecting the big corporate entities that was behind and make most of the behind these projects and make most of their money and feed families off of this music. So do you know what happened eventually? They say, man, we got to put a stop to this shit. This is not right. This is not right. And we start.
But let me ask you this, okay? Even though and everybody have the right to think the way they need to think in order to progress, right? The question is, like, when a male may say, hey, it's not right, I don't feel comfortable. Which part is not the comfortable? Which part is not comfortable? The man taking care of the woman because he brought it into his home. What's not right?
Let me finish. Let me finish my lesson, and then you can ask the question. Let me finish my lesson.
Lesson is only a lesson when you are dictating. Right now, we're trying to have a dynamic discussion. So I want to ask some questions.
We can have a discussion. We can have a discussion. I want to be sure. Let me finish my point. I didn't make my point. You interrupt me right in the middle of my point.
We all learning here, because this ain't just a he and a her. This is not just him teach how to deal with learn how to deal with him. This is a female thing trying to understand what's going on with him, and him trying to understand what's going on with her. So we're all learning here. So I don't want you to have that mindset is like, oh, this is a lesson that I'm teaching. No, because there can be some you're talking to a her. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So just keep that open mind. All right.
So I got some questions. Okay, I got you. Let me finish what I'm gonna say, and then you can go asking all the questions. I'm glad you got them written down so you don't forget them. So again, so now here we go. Now eventually, what these companies, what they end up doing was they end up saying, "Hold up, this is wrong. Let's go ahead and make this ethically right, and we're gonna go ahead." And companies like Napster had to shut down, LimeWire went away, BearShare went away. And then you still got some stuff going on, but you have to be real nerdy and techie to do it. But no longer can you just come as a consumer and just start stealing music and selling it. And you had a bunch of that going on. They was kicking the doors in to DJs hideouts and everything where they storing CDs and bootlegging stuff. I say all that to say that eventually whatever makes sense, whatever is making sense for us to do will eventually be done. So if it's 2022, a woman could be traditional as she could be, but if you got a brother and he's been dating and dealing with women and they all been traditional, but he feeling like it's not adding value to his life, he's gonna find naturally he will find a way to weed out the traditionalist for somebody who is gonna be more ethical for his situation.
Correct. Now, in that sense, and that's logical, right? I would say classic. I chose the word classical, right? On purpose.
Okay.
Because you have people that hold a classic. You call it tradition, you can call it, but it's a thin line between both of them. And there are men that's like, hey, this is what I do because this makes sense. This logical. But when it comes to a man is saying, you know what, I want to detach from that. My question is, what makes okay? So what is it that can make him feel like I don't want to do this anymore? He doesn't want to bear the burden of taking care of a family, because typically men who go long haul with women, they have a family, unless they are not dealing with a family and they're dealing with a single woman. And it's like, okay, yeah, right. What do you have? I'm not here to just to take care of you. I'm here to do the traditional stuff, which is populate the earth, right? But nowadays that tradition is gone too, because we're not populating the earth anymore, right? So the value for the him and a her, it's like we are not that's a big one. We are we're not having babies, right? And the man want the woman goes into the man's quarters, or they come together and share quarters, and they say, hey, I don't want to have any babies. Okay, now we want to be together, so what are we going to add to the pot? How are we going to do this? Because there's no reason for you to stay home taking care of yourself. There's no reason to stay home and you're not taking care of kids. All right, that makes sense. So it would be logical to say, yeah, but if there's no plan and no plan for a future or a plan for a family, I can see that. But I don't know. I think it's like when people when they get into a relationship, they're not necessarily spelling out what they're looking for from each other. They're letting the looks come forward, or the sex appeal come forward, and they miss the questions. Hey, what do you want from me? What do you want? Is it sex that you want? Is it help that you need? Is it support that you're looking for? And this is something that probably most men are not telling a woman, because she's coming to the table with anything that she have. And 9 times out of 10, financially, she's going to be probably trumped by the man. And when he says, I don't want to do this anymore, she's confused. She's like, wait, I've been playing a game. Now, why are you switching up on me right now? And it leaves her in a space of frustration, not fair. All right. And then the man probably say, I don't want to be with you. Or he probably say, I'm about to go dip out because you're annoying as fuck, because I don't want to see you anymore. And, so it's like, how do you deal with stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
How do you deal with stuff like that? And then when it comes to like the equal opportunity part, I can see the equal opportunity part if there's no kids involved, like I mentioned already, right? People should know what they're doing when they go in a relationship. So I'm not trying to swallow it up, but I'm just trying to see what's going on with the man's perspective. Like, is it logical? Is it fair? I'm just trying to understand, because there's a lot of women out there that's getting slammed right about now, and they don't understand why. And then you have the woman that's saying, well, hell, I don't want to deal with your BS either. Right? Now you got these two people that's splitting because nobody's really communicating. And just like the first clip, the guy was like, we rather talk to our boys. The guys rather talk to their boys and tell them, what's going on. But why are they not discussing this with the woman that they're dealing with? Like in your situation, you have an open relationship. You're letting them know, this is what's going on. This is how I feel. This is what I expect from you. And they accept it or they don't. But at the same time, whoever you're dealing with, they're like, I know what this person wants from me. They don't want much of nothing, but at the end of the day, I love this person. I'm supportive about this person. This person is supportive about me. We don't need anything from each other, but we appreciate what we offer to each other. And then nobody's living with each other where one person feels burdened and the other person feels warped. You know what I mean? I don't know. You tell me what you think.
What was the first question?
I don't know. You wasn't paying attention. You didn't have any rebuts. You didn't have your pen and pad. I don't know. I got
You
my
got it
pen and
written
pad
down.
right here.
I know you got the question written down. That's why I was asking what was the first question.
What understandings are needed to know at the beginning of a relationship? You know, spell it out. And it's not
Yeah,
really a
definitely.
question. It's more like, you know, talk that shit. Tell the person what's up. Why are men afraid to talk to a freaking woman?
Yeah, definitely. You know, these brothers is scared to be honest about it. Like Brad said the best. You got honesty is a must. Just be honest about who you are and what you want and what you expect. You know, and what you got the first half is somebody that knows themselves, and they got to be able to look in the mirror and look at the things that they do, and then associate, understand that people are associating their character based off the perspective they're receiving on what their actions portray them to be. So you got to sit there and say, you know, if you smoke and you like, nah, I'm not really a smoker, but every time somebody see you got a cigarette or a blunt in your hand, they be like, you ain't no smoker. Like, nah, I ain't really a smoker, but you smoking. And every time I see you smoking, I see you every other day, bro. You a smoker. You like, nah, I ain't no smoker, man. So what you have is you have that going on. You have that going on, and at so many levels. Um, Not that was just an example. Obviously, I hope everybody can understand. That was just an example, but you have that going on like in every aspect. Like you know, I'm honest. You know, but am I honest? Hold up. I just lied to that girl, told her I stay around the corner. Now I really stay in the next town. And I told her that was my car, but it was a rental car. And I told her I'm single, but really I me and old girls just got together last night, and you know we decided we was gonna, you know, he's got a whole bunch. You gotta have somebody that can first off be honest about who they are and what they want.
Well,
I
technically,
want somebody in my life,
if you
but
are single, you are single if you're not classified on paper. There's only a few boxes, and it's divorced, widow, married, or single. You know, people get that twisted because it's either you're pairing up or you are married, divorced, single, or widow. You know, technically. You know, so I understand why people would possibly say that because if you live alone, you're by yourself, you're taking care of your bills, this, that, and the other, you are technically a single person, you know. Agree with me
yeah,
if I'm
yeah,
wrong.
yeah. I can't agree or disagree. That's all a matter of a couple having that conversation, because that's not something that's widely understood. That's something that I think that you had women and men make up so they wouldn't feel so bad about doing things behind the person that they was seeing consistently back. That's what I think. But
More
however,
to it. That's much more to that besides that. That's
that's just
much more.
my opinion. This is all that's just like an opinion. That's nowhere in black and white or nothing. We're all people, and you're all just I don't care if you get married or you decide you're gonna be in a relationship. We all are just people, and you're gonna do what you want to do regardless. It's all about what commitment this to someone else did you make? What did you come out of your mouth and did you commit to? It ain't about all that other shit. Like, I committed to this, but technically I don't have a ring on my finger, and on paper I ain't married. So, sister, I'm just gonna do my thing. That's not how it works. And it don't work for nobody that way. It's all about what have you guys discussed? What have you harmoniously met? What grounds have you harmoniously met on? We can't talk about we can't if I didn't hear it come out of your mouth, if we didn't put it in paper, if it wasn't fully understood, then we can't go on what's understood don't need to be explained. No, you got to explain. Even if you think you understand it, well, you could be sure you got to understand it, because here we dealing with two different. You dealing with a male and a
Okay,
female.
baby. Yeah. Yep. Sorry.
You dealing with male and female, but they already seeing everything differently, so they definitely got to always talk about these things all the time. So, but going back to like just knowing thyself, knowing who you are, knowing what you bring, and just being honest. These brothers are not being honest. They hiding a lot of things. They're being real deceptive, and the sisters are too. But I'm just saying, as far as the brothers, you got a lot of brothers that are just like that, and because they have not exposed that self to themselves yet, and said, I don't care what nobody say about me. I'm gonna continue to do this. I'm gonna continue to do this way, regardless, regardless what somebody had to say. Cause this is me. This is what I do. Until they get to that point, there always be a little lie, a little deception going on, a little bit. And I witness it all the time. Like, you know, I have it go on in my life. I see it going on in my sister's life and cousins. I'm just you just see little hints of it here and there. People just really, even at this age, they just now really get to know themselves. People older than me, people young, definitely. It's weird because people older than me, you would think they would be, but it's everybody growing at their own pace, you know, and everybody's learning. So you just got to keep all that in mind. And that's what's really going on. You know, you say, dang, what's going on with these brothers, man? Well, that's what's going on with these brothers.
You know what else? I strongly feel like is a big issue is that we are so used to being paired up in relationships to the point where we feel inadequate when we are not in one. And we don't get the chance to know who we are because we're constantly molding ourselves to somebody else's liking and what they want. And it causes us to compromise. And now we don't have room to grow and know who we are because we're constantly ship-shifting for somebody else. You know what I mean? And I think that, you know, maybe men are just at that point where they're like, wait, do I really want to do this? Is this what I really want? Do I feel good about this? You know, do I feel good about her being here with me? You know, telling me how I should feel and picking out my shirts. And I was watching Martin. And that was the episode where Martin was what's the name of the guy who he worked for at the radio station? You remember him? Anybody remember him? Anyways,
with the bald head, I remember the comedian.
No, he had gray hair, and he
with glasses, right?
He was the radio guy. But anyways, but this is crazy because this was a real episode. I don't watch TV, right? But this moment I forgot. Oh, I was in Vegas and Martin came on and I was just watching it. And the episode was this. Stanley went ahead and put a bug in Martin's ear, and he said, "Man," he said, "You don't know who you are." In so many words, he said, "I bet your woman picking out your clothes. I bet she telling you what you gotta eat. I bet you tell dot. And he was like, "Nah, man, nah, Stanley, I ain't doing that. That ain't what my woman do. My girl, hey, I'm the one that wear the clothes, big pants, blah blah blah." And when this was resonating in his head, and then he went ahead and came inside, and then he started a whole disruption with his woman, and then caused a huge ruckus in a restaurant and caused other men to go ahead and have that same mindset that Stanley started, right? He was totally content about his position where he was with his woman, living harmonious, happy, funny, laughing. But that mindset came in from somebody else and he brought it into his house. And then he went ahead and trickled it over to other men. And other men started acting weird and started ditching their wives while they were in a restaurant eating dinner, telling them, "I ain't wearing these clothes. Take these clothes off. This is what I'm putting on tonight. Men, get out of here. Let's go. Let's go shoot some hoops," or something like that. Now, what I'm saying is that was an episode. That wasn't a meme. And then I go and watch reality, which is on Instagram, and I see these videos of these men putting out these mind adjusters and these memes. And it's like, fine. But can we get a little communication going on here? Can you let us know what you're feeling before you start acting weird on us and stuff and making us feel some kind of way? Because it can possibly be something that he's doing to make her act the way she's acting towards him. And he's saying, enough is enough. If that makes sense. And I think that communication kind of like would help out with that, but men don't want to talk.
Man don't want to talk.
Men don't want to talk.
You got a bunch of men who have had a lot of traumatic experiences trying to talk to women, especially if they would try to be emotional with a woman, and they might say, "Babe, I'm sorry," and she'd be like, "You're not sorry." He'd be like, "I just said I was sorry. I feel it. I'm sad. I'm sorry." And he's like, "You're not sad and sorry. You mother." So you got a lot of men who had experiences similar to that, and
Not
experiences
traumatic.
that are.
But that's not traumatic. Come on, men get knocked upside their heads with clubs and fists and this and get beat up with billies and get knocked upside the head with guns and get clipped with martial arts and all this crazy stuff. And telling me that one word can make a man feel some kind of way. You're not sorry.
So you asked why men not talking. I was just saying that men have had some traumatic things happen to them, things that have made them say, "I'm not going to do this kind of talking again," because it was not received well. And it has not been received well. I have not got positive feedback. I have not got a positive conversation. All I get is ragged on about how this and that, this and this, and told that I'm lying. So you have a lot of that going on.
I know. And look, and check this out. This the sad part about it, and mind you, I am not here ragging on no man. Okay. I'm a female trying to understand the disconnect, right? And
Right.
hopefully it helps another woman and it helps another man. And then, those who decide to stay in a relationship can be helpful. But when women, this is why this is important. This whole little thing that we're doing is important because if a man don't understand how a woman is and can't brace himself for that, what's really going on? Why do she have to be tougher than him mentally when he does something that's more detrimental to her spirit, right? And she has to be tough. She has to deal with it. And she has to stay quiet. And she can't bring it up to him because he's telling her, "You bringing that up again?" Right? She has this feeling that is not closed. This I was just talking to a woman earlier today about this, right? And I even said, "Hey, all right, timing is everything. Yeah, it probably wasn't a good time." But he said it's never a good time. She was saying it's never a good time. I've heard that numerous times before in my relationship, my past relationship. It's like, how do you come across someone who constantly brush it to the side when you try to communicate with them? And then when you try to come to them, it's never a good time. It's never a good time. You know, he's like, "I don't want to talk about that right now." Well, honey, when can we talk about it? Not right now. 2 years, 2 years later, same stuff. 5 months later, same stuff. When is it ever a good time? And that's that communication part again. It's a communication. When can she talk to him? When should he be opening up to her to let her know how he truly feels? And hopefully that she get the opportunity to understand him, he understand her, and then they get the bigger picture. And you don't have to go ahead and say, "I can't stand women. I'd rather hang out with my dudes." I don't know. It's like a lack of it's sad. It's very sad.
So
It's heartbreaking, you know.
yeah, so you have men growing up talking to men, and you have women growing up talking to women. You have men who have more things in common because they grow up around each other and finding value in the things that they have in common, like honor and their word is bond, or if they feel disrespected, or something that their best friend is gonna go down and hop in some type of fight or get into some trouble, they'll join them, and they got all these types of we got all these types of things that we use to bond as men that we did growing up as boys, and those things are still there. You still the same thing for women. Women like to talk. They just talk. Ain't no need, no point to talk. Just gossiping is just really good. Just good old fashioned just talking. And then there's also a part of talking that's more emotional than the other. Either way, it's all a bonding process for them. So and also too, they have there's a bit of that there is no, for women, they don't have to necessarily have a system of honor or anything like that. Everybody's kind of like, eventually everybody's gonna get on the go through some type of spit spat with each other, where they might be mad with each other, but they'll get back, they'll be sorry. It's just emotional. Is that there's no integrity, honor system going on there. There's a lot of little things that keep us from coming together the way that we would come together with with people with the same sex, because our values growing up, just being raised the way we are, makes it so that we're just gravitating towards that. I could speak more strongly for the men than I can the women. I just know what I know from what I study and from what I see with the women. And you just got some women who they got one thing in common, is that they all want a man, and they all have been done wrong by the man, and they all kind of it's got that one thing, and they all just want to kind of really talk about what they man is doing for them. So
based on your studies, what kind of conclusion did you come up with that problem? Like, from what have you learned from your studies?
There is no problem. The only problem is that
how to solve that issue.
There is no real problem, other than the fact that there is no training being administered through life that allows them to gain experience in talking to the other sex in a for a relationship in a harmonious way. That's all. There's none of that. It's still relatively like kind of new, because shit, I want to say for all the way up to like your early 1900s, mid 1900s, women and men, it was the roles were so traditional. There was never no need to research why a man need to communicate with a woman another way, or why a woman should communicate with a man another way. So it's all still new stuff,
right?
But nonetheless, it's there to be learned if you want to.
Right?
Right.
That's what a
have
real
to see.
growth is.
Yeah, but we see what you got is you got a lot of people that got this perfect thing going on. Well, I did this and did that, and it didn't work, or he not paying attention to me the way I want, or he not doing right, and that's where you're gonna have a lot of problems. Right and wrong, talking rights and wrongs in your relationship, saying what is right and what is wrong based off of what your society, what your community has said what's right and what's wrong, because all these things were made, all the right and wrongs rules were made in a time were made in a time with society where there was no fairness, there was no real balance. The men made all the rules, and it was, you don't have no kind of diversity. The decisions when these rules were made, well, they wasn't made in a group full of men and women in black and white and orange and purple people, to where they could come to a common ground and say, well, this. So now what we have here is you have people is people holding other people up to some type of traditional standard, right? And then you have people saying, man, it's 2022 and I don't find that resonates with me.
Right.
So you'll have a lot. You got a
the
lot
whole
of
shift, right? It's a serious shift that took place.
Yeah, and so
Brad just put, which is, he says selfishness is cancer in any relationship. I was talking to two people earlier today. How do you feel about compromise? The word compromise, because there was a meme out there by Eartha Kitt. Have you ever seen that meme with Eartha Kitt? She said, compromise. Darling, I don't compromise. She was like, no, there's no such thing. I don't. Now, I was talking to somebody earlier today. I was talking to two different people, right? And it was interesting because one is in a relationship with a man who had that mindset, right? But he was willing to put his stuff up and compromise and get counseling after so many years where things were getting real thin and a little, and there was some traumatic, post-traumatic stress disorder on both parties, past stuff. And then I was talking to somebody else, and they were saying, compromise. Or you have to compromise in a relationship if you are going to be living with somebody, because it only makes sense. If you're not going to live with nobody, you ain't got to compromise, right? Because you're not in my space, I'm not getting annoyed, you're not annoyed by me, blase blase, right? But to live amongst each other, the word compromise is a big deal. And people, if you're not compromising, like he said, selfishness is cancer in any relationship, because people feel like you have to do what I need you to do. And then now resentment kicks in after so many years.
Right. And so that's why it's so important. Just like Brad was saying, honesty is a must. Everybody got to get to a point where they gonna say, I can't do this. I know I know this and this at this point in my life. I just can't do that. I don't want to move forward like that because my goal is such and such. Or I don't find that I could realistically do this and that. That's where the problems coming in at for everybody, because people just not being realistic about what's going on, man. I'm gonna be with her for life. Or I'm gonna be with him for life. And you like 17 years old. Talk about you gonna be with somebody for life, and just wasn't really assess your whole situation, like put it all in perspective. You kind of just kind of was just like going off a feeling, but you didn't say, well, damn, I want to go to college here. I don't know if this is gonna work. Well, I plan on moving across the world. I don't never want kids, or all these things, and the other person might be just the opposite. So, realistically, it wasn't it, but y'all never was honest about these type of things, nor did you know to be honest about that kind of thing, because you in a space where
Just
you kind of less
coasting.
delusional.
Right,
Yeah,
just
you just,
coasting.
mm-hmm. And
Yeah,
it's
that's what a lot of that's what a lot of these relationships are, the foundation is based on. Coasting. Just let's coast, let's ride, let's see where it goes and see what happens. When you're coupling together under one roof, conversations need to be had, and it's tough. It's not easy because we traditionally let one person dictate where it goes. And then next thing you know, you're on a road that you didn't even know was paved out, period. But I find that pretty ironic. But yeah, let's see, let me read this comment. I know. Did you open this other one up?
the other what
I'll read
the
it. It was.
video
No,
of the video.
he said I dig being single, but I love my okay. No, you read them. But yeah, but you have like this lack of communication. I wanted to talk about that because you got men having this different point of view, right? And it's okay. Nobody's saying it's wrong. It's okay, right? Um, and then you have men that's setting up the play and not letting the person know that there's a play being set up, right? And she can just be doing whatever she's typically doing. And at the end of the day, it's kind of like a game. It's like a game.
Right, and it's gonna be a game until everybody can sit down and be honest about their intentions, about where they want to go, where they want to be, what they realistically can handle at the time. It's gonna always be like that.
But
And
what if there's some people that's just like, hey, I'm not here to try to figure out my roadmap. Let's just enjoy, let's just,
you got plenty of
you
people
know,
like that, and for those people, I would say, um, if you're not someone who can dibble dabble in and out of free spiritness, no, that's not a word, free spiritness, then you set yourself up to be hurt, really bad. And then if you're somebody that hasn't been hurt before, then something like that definitely is not something you should be doing at first. Walk into relationships, walk into something a little more. Start with like friends with benefits, so you don't get yourself involved financially and all that type of stuff. Somebody that you can go see and just have sex with, and maybe kick it with every now and then, and they're not tracking your every move and all that jazz. Start there before you go to dealing with somebody that's just so free spirited. They gonna kick it how they gonna kick it and all that, because you could end up getting your feelings hurt real bad if you don't know how to live, how to deal with that kind of pressure. Because you have a lot of people coming in relationships, and they coming in relationships, and they're being very possessive, and they can't help it because
you want it all.
society is telling them that they have to have something to themselves, and they have to objectify their lover, and their lover becomes a thing versus being a human being. It becomes a thing, and this thing has these rules, and then now you done took the autonomy from this thing, and this thing is going to do the exact opposite of what you expect that thing to do, because that thing isn't a thing. That thing is a human being, and they have free will, and they have things that trigger them to, once resentment kick in. Resentment start off with just a little
Mustard
rock,
seed.
a little rock. That's all it take. It's all it take. And shit, for some it grow real fast,
Like
but
a weed.
that's all it take. Well, just a small tiny bit of little resentment, and you have this big ass thing. You be get 10, 15 years, you'll wonder what straw had broke the camel back. And it wasn't that it was one straw that broke the camel back. This thing had been festering always since the time that you had met.
Mhm.
I had seen my cousin had got married, and they had this part of the wedding, doing like the intermission between the reception and the actual wedding itself. And they had this booth where this guy would ask these people questions. One guy got up there, Hispanic guy, him and his wife got up there, and he say, man, me and my wife been together. They was together for a super long time. He was like, man, just be honest from top. Just be honest from day one. Just start being honest about everything you don't and like, and you do like. Just start right there. If you do that, you'll be all right, because if you don't, those things start festering, and it's just true. He didn't use the words we use, like resentment and all that, but what he was saying was true, and him and his wife lived like that. So soon as he don't like something, he don't like mayonnaise or mustard, he could go and give it right then and there. Had that conversation right there, and you gonna get wherever that conversation go, that's where it go. And that's just the best thing to do. And, you might say to yourself, I don't I could deal with this, but ask yourself, can you? Say, can you deal with this? Because if you don't, if you can't, that resentment gonna build up, and this gonna show eventually. Can you only hide it for so long? Your partner gonna feel it. Your partner gonna notice it, and or they might not notice it, depending how well you played it off. But they might notice, like, hold on, man, something funny going on here. You know what I'm saying? We all human. We all get intuition. Man, something funny going on. You smell that? I smell some bullshit happening somewhere. And so, you know, and you just gotta be honest. Everybody just gotta be real honest. Men come up,
Honesty,
men
but
come up talking to, but
first and foremost, just opening up the communication, channel is honest communication. Honesty comes after communication, you know, and if you don't have a open communication solution problem, you got him not want to ditch her, she don't understand why, She builds up resentment.
Mm-hmm.
He builds it up too.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody is talking. He's running to him. She's running to her. House divided, right?
Mm-hmm.
Solution, possible solution, communication. You always talk about counseling.
Off rip day one.
Day
If
one,
you can,
right?
if you can,
Which,
go and
which
start getting it in there.
that is like that is so to me. I mean, they do that before, like when they in the church, they say marriage counseling and stuff like that
They
before you
don't
get.
give real counseling though, man. You got to
They
have counseling
don't.
throughout the years. You got to go through it. They just checking the blocks for the state. The state checking the blocks because they finna get ready to give you a license. Anytime you get a license, you got to have an exam. You got to have I just don't just give you I need you to answer some type of questions. You got to pay some kind of money. You know what I'm
For
saying? You got
what?
to do
For counseling, the church counseling.
for your license. You want a marriage license? You want me to give you a marriage license? You want me to give you a license to say that you can be you can cohabitate with somebody and build a life with them? You want me to give you a license that say that? I'm gonna need you to do a couple things first, so that we know we're not giving you a license to commit suicide one of these days because your love is acting up because y'all didn't really talk to each other. They just try to. This is a preventative measure, just something they try to do. That way, when you get like, they're like, "Hey, we put you through counseling. Now, look, you didn't got divorced. It went bad. That's all on you because we checked the box off. You know what I'm saying? You can't come back and start trying to sue the state because we done tried to do everything we could. And you said you went through this counseling and you
Right.
said you was ready to do this damn thing. I
Right.
think it's all. I think it's all a bunch of bullshit if you ask me. Um, because if you, huh?
No, I'm
So,
laughing.
oh yeah, because and if you start thinking about you think about marriage and kind of like some of the things that is plagued in life, and from what you would like see in school or something. Marriage started off with it was for the royals, and a queen would a prince would marry a princess, and their families would split some land or join some land together,
Right.
and then you had you had got to a point where the man would marry a woman, and she would need him to build a log cabin, and he would have her do all the domestic stuff. And then you had like the farming area where motherfuckers needed to marry and have
Have
kids to
kids.
help farm the land, and then you
Now they
get to
ain't now they not having kids anymore, so nobody don't need each other anymore. And
all right, you got to a point where the woman need to marry a man because all the jobs were for men, mostly all the high paying jobs men can only get. So you married a man and you stayed home and your housewife for a long time, and then now you got the era where you got people married because they was just in love, and it was it was the thing to do because you love somebody. And I was like, well, why are we getting married now? I did need a partner, and I did love.
get
I
out of
know,
my
and I did I did need my partner. I mean, you had that era too. I needed my partner. Husband and wife needed each other. She needed her
right,
man to
right.
pay some shit, and he needed her to do support whatever way she could support. But now it's like, if she got a job making as much money as you make, then you don't need each other in that aspect. So now, what you need each other for? You might need some emotional support.
And
You
I
might
think,
need some.
and that right there, and now we're going back to the basics right there, because when you start having that, I don't need you. Okay, you don't need me. You think you don't need me, right? Because we overlook what society try to make us feel like we need, right?
Mm-hmm,
But the
mm-hmm,
truth of the matter is that we're overlooking the natural need, right? And the
mm-hmm,
natural need is we need emotional support. We need emotional comfort. You know,
mm-hmm,
we don't, okay, yeah, we leveled up. We into a whole new era. She making her money, realizing she don't need to take his shit. I make my money. I don't have to live underneath your spotlight. He's like, I make money, you're making money, you ain't cooking, you ain't satisfying me, so why do I need to be with you? Right? So this financial stuff and this need stuff got us twisted. And at the end of the day, we go to each other, to somebody else, and look for the basic foundation from somebody else when we overlook the basic foundation with the partner who we were with. Because society told us, no, our needs need to be this, that, and the other. But in reality, it's comfort that we want. A man don't want nothing more than ask from a woman. All right. And the nurturing aspect of her. Why? Because that's what she is. She has breasts and she has soft tissue, right? A man, okay? A man who is into his woman, or any woman, wants to press up on a woman with soft body. He wants a softness. He wants her to rub on his head when he's feeling like, I had a hard day today, my day went wrong. That's really all he wants. Am I wrong?
So man, I mean, that's a good way of putting something. But just a man just really want a woman's kindness, and then
Same difference.
an extension of her kindness would be to allow him to put her in missionary position, or to get that back rub, or to get that sandwich made for lunch. He just wants her kindness. He wants her to extend her kindness and show favoritism towards him.
Okay, that's in a nutshell, right? But when you talk about that sandwich, that's some off-duty stuff. That ain't natural. Because there ain't no meat and bread in those olden days. But the fact is that there is the kindness.
they had meat and bread been around for forever. What you
not
mean?
not as a sandwich, they just came out with the Wonder Bread, the sliced bread. But what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, he really wants her. He wants her kindness, right? He wants her femininity, because that's what it is.
He's looking for her kindness
Her
and extension of
femininity.
her. No, she ain't necessarily got to be feminine. She might be She might be a masculine. She might be. It's all. He's looking for her to be kind and show favoritism for
If
him.
you're if you're
And
if
and
you're on a
and the
if you're in a
extension of
if
her kindness.
just to give you a little hip on a because I'm gonna hit you with some holistic shit. All right.
Let's hear that
Kindness,
holistic shit.
caring is a feminine aspect. It's a feminine energy, right? So when I say feminine, I'm expressing that
As kindness. You saying the feminine is kindness.
kind,
Anytime
kindness.
somebody being kind, that's feminine.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the feminine energy. And that's okay, because we're balanced with both. One is just heavier than the other, but the balance is still there, even though it's like this, right? But at the same day, that's mainly what he wants. He wants her femininity, her over exuberant femininity, right? What you talking about? Some bug is telling you she's right. The spirits are saying, oh. I was like, what? There's a little bug telling you she's right? No. I can't hear you.
I heard some gunshots. I heard some popping outside. I want to be sure with no gunshots.
Oh,
That
okay.
close.
So at the end of the day, that's what he's looking for, and that's the natural part of it. And I think this is where men are going today, and they don't really know it, right? They just want they're separating from the woman because they don't want the masculine side that she has to offer. They can't handle that, right? Because there's something that may be triggering her to feel the way she's feeling, and it's making her imbalanced. Like with the video, one of those males were on a more feminine energy. He's like, I want you to pay for me sometime. I want you to do that's feminine, because it's a receiving situation. All right. That's the feminine energy. So I think like men are saying, yo, I don't want the extra stuff you have to offer. I just want my peace, my space. And when it's time for me to lay my head in the face, in your face or your space, that's all I need from you. But I don't think he knows how to express that, right? So, solution, solution, communication, right? Like your boy said, the people that was at the wedding, open, open up the conversation, because traditionally men are telling women, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to talk. I don't want to hear that nagging. And it shuts down the communication level, right? So it's like, how can we open that up a little bit? Maybe we can open it up from this divider on the other side of the house. You know, he over here, and like we're doing, having this open conversation and saying, open up that communication level, make me feel comfortable.
Right. So the thing is the communication ain't gonna do nothing because people already think they communicating already. They're like, man, I be talking, I be trying to communicate. Talking is
Communication.
right. So communicating has everything to do with you creating a message. First of all, hopefully an honest and transparent message in a way in the best way that the recipient of your message can receive. I mean, you got to speak what your recipient speaks. So if your recipient is woman, you need to be able to speak woman. With that being said, if you cannot speak woman, you need to go find you some of the best books on how to speak woman. And so you can understand their perspective. It's just like learning how to speak to a kid. You can't just go just speak to a kid. If you don't know how to speak to a kid, maybe you need to watch somebody. And what you'll see them doing, oh, you just want an apple? You just want some apple? What about this toy? If your ass can't pick up 1, 2, 3, if your ass can't pick up on that, understand that that's how the kid want to be spoken to. You somebody that's hard to understand communication, and you might not be able to. You might be one of the people that you might not be able to. You might not be suited for being in a relationship. You might need to be somebody that
Vice
do their
versa.
thing from time to time because, or you need to find somebody that's on your level, somebody that don't mind arguing all the time. That's what fuck's gonna happen. You're gonna be arguing all the time because there's no way. It's all emotional. It's all emotional. And it's emotional management. We all are managing each other emotions.
Emotionally immature, right?
We are managing each other emotions. That's all this shit is about. This is about me making it so that you can be in my presence without becoming aggravated, angry, or sad. If I could keep that at bay, right? If I could keep that at bay and while still preserving the integrity of who I am to myself, then you good. Then we all good.
You said this so you can stop being aggravated, angry, and sad.
Aggravated. If I could be around you, and when you're around me, I can prevent you from being aggravated, angry, sad, and bored. Then and I can keep your attention where it's needed.
Now you know what? I'm
I'm
gonna be
good.
honest. That's a lot of work for anybody.
Oh, we all got it cut out for ourselves. That's why when you do find you somebody you can hang with in his goo, you got to hold on to that thing. You got to hold on, and that might be mean. That might mean a lot of things, and you got to keep people like that in your life because people like that, it's gonna be it ain't easy to go around people and really catch real good vibes, and it's just always peace. The extended periods of peace. Now there's gonna be times always of where everything ain't as lovely, but hopefully that don't outweigh the good times or the good feelings or the good moments. So
Right, right. And that's something that needs to be scaled out for sure. So we're at an hour and 10 minutes.
yay, boy, we get that
I
kicking.
personally think that this should be called vice versa.
It's called vice versa.
Vice versa.
Right? Why you say that?
Because it's a give and take. vices verses, like give up the vices in exchange for the verses, finding a way, basically, you know, equally yoked, right? Equal
The vice
exchange,
versa. You say
vice
vice versa, I think about Pastor Troy. What if heaven was hell and vice versa? Girl, if I told you to go to hell, would you tell I cursed you? Yeah. Rather than the money, nah, nigga, take your time. And when I visit to this ride, nigga, take your time. Whether heaven was hell and vice versa. If heaven was hell, I'd be an angel, cause I'm a devil, a down south Florida rebel, a whole other fucking level, reminiscing on the bad that I did, busting heads, spitting wigs. You never heard vice versa about Pastor Troy? Oh, hell, man. What? You ain't never heard vice versa by Pastor Troy? Come
I'll pay
on.
attention to it after this show.
It ain't no need now. The song like 30, 20 years old.
Now you're gonna make me feel
Damn.
bad. Hey, I'm a
Damn.
old lover.
You ain't heard vice versa.
I am traditional.
What they got to do with hearing vice versa about Pastor Troy?
Because I don't know who Pastor Troy is. I heard of him, but I don't know his music like that.
What?
Sorry.
How you don't know who Pastor Troy is? That is.
I heard of him.
Man.
Don't be embarrassing me
Matter of
on
fact,
Facebook,
you know what?
okay?
Pastor Troy
Don't be embarrassing me on Facebook.
Pastor Troy is from Augusta, Georgia. He was, I think, at the time, he was repping Atlanta. Matter of fact,
I'm a down south girl. Now, if you, I'm a boot girl.
He was like the
okay?
first artist. I guess, but he's a down south guy. I'm gonna let you play this for you. But Coach K was his manager. Coach K is the guy that's partnered with P, and they brought you Lil Baby and Coach K's behind Young Jeezy, Rocco, Lil Yachty, the Migos, City Girls, all them guys.
Oh, okay.
He was managing.
I must say, never heard of it.
That they love to hate. Yeah.
No, that's super underground for me.
To this rhyme, nigga, take your time. Hey.
Yeah. Oh, he got hyped out, yeah.
This was like crunk music. This was like the first beginning era of crunk music, and this was, man. Come on, man.
When
you go in the club and you throw your bowls and and you go outside, you take your shirt off, nigga want to bump, you shoot you a fade and all that shit. This was that time. You know what I'm saying? Back when
I never was one of those crunk girls.
Come on, man.
Sorry, I am a jazz baby. I'm a jazz baby. I'm an old school
you
baby.
Like you on a cold you like what's his name? Cold Train? What is his name? The guy that played the sax.
Coltrane. Not I know about Coltrane, but I don't. That I'm a smooth jazz, right? I do know about Coltrane, but let me tell you, when it comes to the southern rap, like New Orleans rap and stuff like that, I can tell you all about it. But I'm a little prejudiced when it comes to.
I come up listen to a little jazz too. Some of that neo. What is it? Neo jazz? That not neo jazz. What's that? Smooth jazz. Some of that.
Let me tell you, okay.
That Sade Quiet Storm. It's a quiet storm.
That's where you can find me. All right, you pitch in that area, I'll hit the bat. I'll hit it. But that's not. I'm not a big rap baby. So when you ask me stuff like that, I might. But
I walk it like I talk it. Ain't like I talk it. Walk it like I told some niggas scared to walk it.
All right, let me get on. Listen, y'all. Hey, we noticed y'all just joined in, but we about to wrap it up. We get ready to tune in because we was talking about the dynamic on why he's running away from her, and trying to understand why he should open up to talk to her about his feelings, but that may never happen, but we'll see. You know, we at the beginning of a turn of a whole age, a turn into a new age, but you know, we'll see. But I wanted to say thank you so much for your time, my sweet, handsome co-host. I know that smile. That smile will run a girl wild. Okay. Yeah. And thank y'all so much. We'll see y'all next Monday. Look, follow us, okay? Share it if you like. Tune in next Monday. We'll see how that goes. And other than that,
I'm Quiz the God.
I'm Goddess Set. And we'll see y'all.
I'm trying to point. God damn, how I point at this the camera. That point this way. Dang. And that is, there you go. Goddess Set. This is Marital Mondays.
All right, you guys. Thank you for your time. Deuces.
Yeah. Y'all be easy.
Be easy, big cheesy.